we're back, and this time we're going to talk about
Gratefulness.
Yes, come, let's cheers to that. Yeah. The guy above is drilling and knocking on the ceilings.
So we need kind of ammunition
Right.
to power on.
Oh, this is so refreshing.
It's really good.
Okay, gratitude. Let's talk about gratitude. Now, both of us have talked to you about
Gratefulness.
he's knocking and it's getting worse. And the boys are home. Okay, both of us have talked to you about gratefulness, and we have embraced gratefulness into our lives. And so, Andrew, tell me, have there been changes after you have kind of embraced gratefulness into your life?
I think it has greatly changed my perspective of life. Right down to the nitty-gritty everyday living. I am more calm. I'm a very hot-tempered person for most of my life, so I found that being grateful has taught me to look at the smaller but really important things in life, and that's helped me to be calmer because I no longer just snap at an instant when something pisses me off.
Okay, and how did you take this on to say that I'm going to be more grateful? Did it happen one day? Did you realize it, or was it like something in the works? Yeah, we have house full of people too.
Okay.
Gratefulness. So tell us, Anne, how did this come about? Was it an impromptu thing? Did it just happen?
It was a very intentional action in the beginning, and then I think I kind of lost track of it for a while. But recently, I think it also plays a part on the people I surround myself with. I have been very mindfully surrounding myself with people who I feel are pushing me to be the kind of person I want to be. So, I'm around people who talk about such things like, hey, what are you thankful for today? Or I have books that remind me of that. I have post-it notes around my house, kind of reminding me.
Like your screensaver. I've seen your screensaver,
correct,
right?
yes.
Right.
So, these things remind me, hey, don't forget to be thankful. Don't forget to be kinder. Don't forget to be this kind of things. So,
is it hard? I mean, is it taking a toll on you, like, oh gosh, now I have to be grateful, I have to remind myself to be grateful?
I like to be grateful, but it's hard. I mean, I think also because from where we come from, we are a first world country, we're very modern, we're very fast paced. You don't really have time to sit down and think, what am I thankful for today? And I think because we're first world, there's so many things we want. I want a bigger shop.
Which is not a need.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
I want a bigger shop. I want a nicer dress. I want a fancy label bag. So it kind of blurs between want and need where we come from.
Okay.
And, I think being grateful reminds me that, hey, the essentials, you have the essentials, and you have more than just the essentials actually. Yeah,
That's just true, that's true. For me, it's like, because I'm such a routine, systematic person, it's like on my way commuting to work, I'm on the train listening to music, and then I always listen to my app in the morning, not my app but the app called The Calm. And it always ends off with a proverb or a saying, and that will lead me into thought, like, okay, listening to them, and then what was the thought of the day, and
so
then from there, I kind of meditate, and then I kind of tell myself, okay, sometimes I don't get three things, but optimally it should be three things. Like, what am I grateful for today? Maybe I got a seat on the train, or maybe because I'm out and about, it kind of gives me more things to be grateful for. Like, I'm grateful for good health, I'm grateful for getting to work on time. So it's like the little things that, and I started off like pretty much like a game, like see if I can find something different today.
Okay.
And
That's
then
makes it fun.
Yeah, so then now it's like I don't have to do it at the start of the day. I can do it anytime. Like, oh, I'm thankful that it didn't rain on me and I reached home on time, and it has now integrated into every part of my life where I don't have to per se do it by routine.
It's part of your thoughts, your thoughts.
Correct. But I don't like note it down. I know some people write it down, like you use a 5-minute journal, so you would like write it down and all.
I
So
think it helps. Yeah, it helps.
it does help, but then sometimes I don't. It's like I just say, and then other ways of teaching where they say, say it under your breath, and the universe hears. So I don't know if the universe is hearing me, but I just kind of like, I'm just thankful. I mean it, I say it, and it's heartfelt. So another thing I wanted to ask you was, do you think it's important to teach it to your kids?
Oh, it's very important.
And how would you do it?
Again, because like I said, we're in a first world country. we have so many things, and if it's so hard for us who were like, I was born in the 80s, to be mindful and thankful, how much more difficult is it for someone born in after the 2000s, where we're able to afford a lot more things.
It's a fine line actually between spoiling your child and teaching them to be grateful. You don't want to deprive them from everything. And
especially in a society where, and I don't mean harm, I don't mean it's wrong to spoil your child or to give your child everything, but it's very hard to be the mom who doesn't. Who tells your child you have to somehow earn it,
right?
Or no, you have to save up for it. I'll give you the money. It's not that I'm not giving you the money, but we come in a culture where, the way I see it, most kids don't really work for what they want.
No, they don't.
So it's hard being this mom who says, no, you want it, you have to save for it. You have to learn the painful way of.
I used to give my kids money to do housework, like 20 cents or 30 cents to sweep the yard and stuff like that, so that they could save up to buy something that we wanted to buy, rather than just like, here's $50, go buy what you want. I wanted to teach them that work was important, and then when they got the item that they were, saving up to buy, there's a sense of satisfaction.
Yeah, that's true.
Rather than just, buying
I
things.
I wanted it, I got it.
Yeah, and then, also teach them that you should be thankful that you were given the opportunity to be such or to have such, you see. So whenever they get something that is special, they learn to be thankful. But along the way, it is kind of controversial. Like, I have friends that ask me, it's like, why are you paying your children to do housework?
Yeah.
Should they be doing it already?
I feel that too. I don't give my money, although I've read, like when I read up on parenting and how to bring up responsible children and all that. Paying them money is one of the idyllic behavioral chart and all. But I do feel like it's wrong. He should be doing housework on his own accord.
Nobody wants to do housework, not even housewives.
Nobody pays me to do the laundry. So there you go. So I stopped paying mine. I just, in fact, instead I tell them that, hey, it's part of life. If you don't clean up after yourself, bugs will come.
Right,
all that.
right.
So you have to be responsible for yourself. You should learn that, hey, if I don't do this, there will be consequences.
Right.
You shouldn't wait for someone to say, here, I give you, $2 if you will do this. So no, I don't pay mine, but I give him pocket money for his school, which is he only eats for about 80 cents. So I give him $2 and I tell him that you have to save, and he does
the rest.
Yeah.
Right. He's quite diligent with saving, I see that.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He buys me gifts with his own savings and all.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, next part is a little bit more serious in this time when the whole world is being affected by our virus situation.
The COVID-19.
Yes, the COVID-19. I just wanted to, share my point of view, ask you your point of view. Like, we're talking about gratefulness. We're so grateful for stuff and everything. How do you see gratefulness in this worldwide spread of a pandemic? How
There's
do you
so much
see
to be grateful for. I'm grateful that I'm healthy. My family is healthy. I'm grateful that we have a good healthcare system.
Right.
Because
Easy accessibility to.
Yes, and they're everywhere. We have clinics everywhere, not just one. We're spoiled for choice. We have more than one clinics. And
Right.
I live in a new estate, which is harder actually. But even I have like 4 or 5 clinics at disposal,
Right.
So that, and I'm grateful for. Well, I am one of those who initially wanted the government to shut the whole island down. I was for it. I was for it. Like, hey, come on, shut it down before it spreads. But now, because they didn't, I was not happy. And then I decided to take a moment to think about it. Then I realized, it's kind of smart. Like, those who are unwell, they have the 5-day MC.
Right.
So you're kind of quarantining them already, even though they don't necessarily have the virus,
Yes.
So
Precautions.
Yes.
Precautions. Yeah.
The life still goes on, which is actually true on a larger scale. If you look at it, no matter what happens in the world, life still goes on. So you can't just say, hey, okay, we'll just switch off for.
Right. That's
Yeah.
true.
So I'm very grateful for that.
To me, I'm grateful that we're going back to basics. Like, people are telling you to turn off the aircons, go under the hot sun, breathe in fresh air. The shuttle bus I take to work, he opens the windows now.
Ventilation.
And okay, way back when I was a kid,
Oh, the
these
wind
were
blowing.
these were things that we enjoyed, taking the bus, the gushing wind through your hair and stuff like that. And I feel that should a quarantine come about, like for schools or for work, I think that's amazing in the sense that we get back our family time that many of us who are working and busy moms running around having errands to run and everything. I think it brings us back to simplicities of life. So I'm grateful that should that ever happen, it's fine. If it doesn't happen, it's an education. Like, we take each other more seriously. Like, I'm thankful for this person in my life because this virus could affect anyone, anywhere.
And I also like how it is pushing us to be more responsible, not just for ourselves, but for each other.
Right.
Like, you wear a mask if you're unhealthy because you don't want to infect another person.
Correct.
So I think this is really beautiful. It's reminding you that, hey, it's not just you living in this world, there's someone else to care for. I mean, it's a whole country, a whole world here. Yeah.
In the midst of, like, how everybody's talking about how Singaporeans are rushing to buy groceries and marketing supplies. But on the flip side, I do see encouraging, beautiful things on Facebook where people put a bottle of hand sanitizer at the lift.
Oh yeah, we
And
have it
they
in our
share,
blog too.
and they're sharing. So it's like, yes, there is an ugly side. Every culture has an ugly side. But let's look at the beautiful side. Let's look at people reaching out, sharing masks, people who are sharing hand sanitizers. Otherwise, you'd just be sitting to a stranger and not even have a conversation. And I love to see people see the lighter side of life in this. Like, I took a cab the other day to work, and being a teacher, I use my voice all the time, and I just went and taxi driver said, hey, you're not he said, hey, you're not supposed to do that in Singapore anymore. So I said, but uncle, I'm a teacher and my voice is like really caught up. Then he started to laugh and we had a wonderful conversation. And it came to this beauty of it where when I alighted, he couldn't use the pay wave that I was going to pay. And he said, you know what, don't sweat it. I'll give you my number, just pay now and let me know. So you see, the graciousness of the society is coming back, which otherwise would be complaining about everything. But now we're trying to see how we can stick up for one another, how we can actually ride the storm together as Singaporeans. And to me, I think it's making us stronger, and very, very grateful for that.
Yeah, it's a lot to be grateful for.
On that note, we are just going to cheers to our high vitamin C drink and say,
Lemon.
be grateful, everyone. Bye.